I'm going to share the best remedy that you can use for hyperpigmentation, dark spots on the face. There are bleaching agents that people are using on their skin that do get rid of these dark spots, but they end up destroying the cells that make the pigment. The other big problem is we're blaming these dark spots or aging spots on the sun. This is why they tell you to completely avoid the sun to prevent this hyperpigmentation. Right now, they actually put sun blocker, SPF chemicals in literally all the moisturizers, facial creams, to block this UV radiation. They'll tell you that you can get all your vitamin D from food or a few minutes in the sun. This is a complete lie. If you actually have a skin cream or a face cream that has this sunscreen in it, I wouldn't use it on your face. If you take a younger person and you compare them with an older person and you're looking at this hyperpigment issue, you basically don't even see it in younger people. You only see it in people over the age of maybe 35, 40, 50, 60. As we get older, it becomes more of a problem. In our skin, we have a pigment, and it's called melanin. Melanin is made by cells called melanocytes. If you compare someone who's like 18 or 20 years old to someone that's 60, the concentration of these little melanocytes is much different. When we're younger, we have a lot more concentration. When we're older, we don't. What causes the melanocytes to produce melanin? Vitamin D. What's the primary trigger to make vitamin D? The sun. We're going to talk about what vitamin D does to melanin in a second, but I just wanted to show you this apple right here. You can see this apple on the left versus the apple on the right, slightly different colored. Both of these apples are being oxidized by oxygen, but this one has protection. I put some lemon juice on it. It's an antioxidant. This one had no protection against oxidation, oxygen, so it's going brown. Same thing happens with the skin. See, oxidation triggers melanin. There's other things too. There's environmental pollution, there's stress. The key factor that you need to know about is this word oxidation, because that gives you a clue on how to correct this problem. What's the opposite of oxidation? Antioxidation, from antioxidants. What's interesting about antioxidants is that melanin is like the ultimate antioxidant to protect against DNA damage. What happens is you naturally expose yourself to the sun, you get a slight tan. The darker the skin, the more the filtering effect of the UV radiation. Also, we get more filtering of the production of vitamin D, because the way that you make vitamin D is from this UV radiation interaction on your skin with cholesterol. That's all interesting information, but what's really important about this topic is what vitamin D does to your melanocytes. But vitamin D helps protect against the oxidation factor. It's a very potent antioxidant. Is there research on this? Yes, there is, but it's mixed. But if you look at the research, I think the reason why it's mixed is because the dosage of vitamin D that they're using is way too low and way too infrequent, because they're basing it on an outdated RDA for vitamin D. A lot of the confusion with vitamin D revolve around this RDA, what our bodies require each day to survive, right? And they have it at 600 IUs, which is a crazy low number. If we're basing our research on that number, and if we do a research project with low amounts of vitamin D, we're probably not going to see much result, because to create a therapeutic dosage, you need more than 600 IUs. I did a video recently on autoimmune diseases. One that pertains to this topic is on vitiligo. That is like the opposite condition that we're talking about. It's not a hyperpigmentation. It's a loss of pigment. You have areas around your skin that are kind of like bleached or white, targeting the melanocyte, so we get these little areas of lack of pigment. Remember I talked about vitamin D helps modulate the melanocyte. It can increase or decrease melanin. Well, guess what? There's some fascinating information to show that you can actually greatly improve vitiligo by taking 20 to 30,000 IUs of vitamin D3 every single day. The bottom line is vitamin D greatly influences the cells that make melanin. If you have enough vitamin D in the skin, you will have protection against this overproduction of melanin. The problem is if you're following the main recommendation of avoiding the sun and using these sun blockers, you are going to be severely low in vitamin D. There's two things I'm going to recommend. Number one is kind of a quick fix, and it's a very safe thing to do, and it's a home remedy. and it's very effective for many reasons, which I'll get into. But number two, I would start working on building up your vitamin D levels, consuming at least 10,000, maybe 20,000 IUs of vitamin D3 each day. In addition to that, I would start to build up antioxidant networks in the body. To make them, you need high quality protein, high quality amino acids, fish, eggs, meat. These antioxidants also are made from trace minerals, zinc, copper, iodine. You can get that from shellfish as well as sea salt. Of course, you need other nutrition too, like the B vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin E. All of these will start building up your antioxidant networks. What would be a good remedy to use as kind of a quick fix to see change in the tone of our skin? The remedy is plain, unsweetened yogurt. Of course, I would get the grass-fed organic yogurt, rubbing it all over the skin, leaving it on the face for 5 minutes, washing it off, and just doing that once a week. Some people do it 3 times a week. It really depends on how bad your problem is. The first thing it has is a key ingredient called lactic acid. Lactic acid in yogurt is a lot more gentle than putting pure lactic acid on your skin. Lactic acid dissolves the bonds between dead skin cells that have this darkened pigment on them. The yogurt also adds another cool effect. It gives the skin more probiotics. You have this living ecosystem of this microbiome on your skin, not just for this hyperpigmentation, but just to keep the skin healthy. If there's excess inflammation or redness, that will go away. If you have a real serious problem with this, you can always make it stronger by adding in just a pinch of turmeric to the yogurt. Mix it up, apply it on the face. Now we have the extra benefit of adding a more powerful antioxidant to this to speed it up, but it's not necessary. The yogurt is going to create a really nice effect over time that's going to be safe, gradual, and it's going to make your skin feel really soft and very healthy. I know some people are saying, well, should we be putting acids on our face? And the answer is yes, because the pH of the skin is acidic. You don't want to alkalize it. You don't want to put a sunblocker on your face. You don't want to avoid the sun. You can be out in the sun, just don't get burned. Regular exposure to the sun is extremely healthy, and our bodies were designed for that. Taking more vitamin D and building up the reserve of vitamin D is going to help modulate that little melanocyte so your body can get the right amount of melanin. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Before you go real quick, I have a course entitled How to Bulletproof Your Immune System. It's a free course. I want you to take it, and here's why. Here's you. Here is your environment. Everyone is focused on this over here, avoiding your environment. But what about here? What about strengthening your immune system? That's what's missing. This course will show you how to bulletproof yourself, and so you can tolerate and resist your environment much better by strengthening your own immune system. I put a link down in the description right down below. Check it out and get signed up today. Hey, before